Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Gamers Den, the show where you, the viewer, come to me, the host, for all the video games, playthroughs, and walkthroughs, and all that good stuff. But you stay for the pop culture knowledge that we're in. Today, and for the next couple of days, we are actually debuting 3 new parts of the channel that will alternate between the others. Today, we are introducing Toobheads. This will alternate between the Cartoon Asylum and...
This my part?
No. I will call.
Okay, fine.
I'll deal with him later. You'll meet him in a later video. But today on Toobheads, well, I should probably you made me lose my train of thought. Thanks, asshole.
You're welcome.
You're gonna have to. If I have to restart this thing, retract my flow, I will kill you. So, Toobheads will alternate every other week, as well as the other two. They'll alternate every other week. Now, Toobheads, basically, we look at the movies and shows and other stuff that we normally wouldn't be able to fit anywhere else. They would be relegated to a random video, unfortunately.
This would be mostly live action, right?
Yeah, mostly live action. We might talk about other characters here and there, or franchises as a whole. It just depends. But mostly, yes, this will be for basically any movie or show that doesn't deal with animation, anime, any kind of comic book at all, and horror, sci-fi. There's a reason for the sci-fi and the superheroes. We'll find that out later. But, or video games or anything like that. Just, these are basically the movies and shows that we normally wouldn't be able to talk about outside of a random video. Case in point, today's topic. The Three Stooges. Probably my favorite comedy group of all time. Don't get me wrong, I love a good Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello. But these guys were my very first comedy acts that I ever watched as a kid. And I have quite a bit of Stooges videos. Volumes 1 through 6 of the series. 2 compilations that have color versions. A 75th anniversary, I think that says. As well as another part to it that's volume 2 of it. And then 6 movies plus the 2012 movie that came out later. Now, I think the most iconic version of the Three Stooges, everybody knows, is Moe, Larry, and Curly. However, that was not the first iteration of the Stooges. The very first was Moe, Larry, and Shemp. However, before filming even started, Shemp had a bit of a falling out with the director and went off to do his own thing. So, what did Moe do? He brought in Curly. Now, you might be remiss to know, but Moe, Curly, and Shemp are all brothers. Curly's real name is Jerome, and their last name is actually Howarditz, meaning they're Jewish. And I'm pretty damn sure Larry's Jewish too. And which would explain his little bald spot. It would explain it. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. That's probably the most iconic thing. If you don't know Three Stooges, you know the little whoop whoop whoop.
And that's why I say you're correct.
Okay, so I can do it good, but you gotta admit I got a bad temper. And
yeah,
that leads
but you gotta admit I do the snaps more often like Moe.
Yeah, but you're not out of temper. You just had a spite of my good jokes. You can do all that. You can clap your hands all day long. It ain't gonna do nothing to me. And that is shaving a haircut, a very iconic tone, and used quite a bit in Three Stooges. But on to the main actors. Moe is of course the main leader. He's the guy that pretty much, if you approach him,
he gonna slap you.
Either good or bad natured, in silly fashion, make a joke, whatever. If you're Larry, or any of the guys that kind of alternate between Curly or as the third stooge, he's gonna slap you. He's gonna I got you. He's gonna do something to you. It's not gonna be pretty.
Did somebody say eye gouge?
Go back to sleep. Now, next up is Larry. Now, he's usually the straight man that reacts to everything. However, his most iconic thing that happens to him is his hair gets pulled, and I still don't know how they do that. I think it's Velcro to make that ripping sound.
Oh, you mean
like
oh
no. Please don't pull my hair. Jesus Christ, asshole.
Also, did someone say eye gouge? Point.
Don't be doing that on here right now.
Why not? That's a
I'm trying
quality thing.
I'm trying to educate the peoples.
Yes, but that's part of that Three Stooges. Is the point.
My dude, I'm getting to that. But I need to get through the characters first. There is a method to this madness.
Really? I thought there was just madness to madness.
You'd be shocked how much there is and how much planning goes into madness. I mean, look at the Joker. But shut up, us here. Next up, we have probably the most iconic of the third stooge, basically. Curly. His head basically looks like half of a shaved ass. As I've heard once. I gotta find that movie, Show Leo. That one's funny. But basically, Curly is where the little whoop comes from. Now when Curly had his stroke, he was replaced by Shemp. And funnily enough, in one episode that has Mo, Larry, and Shemp, Curly briefly appears. But about a week or two later after that, Curly passed away. Now Shemp is considered the ugliest stooge, for good reason. He came back when Curly had his stroke. I think the director was still around at the time, banded things together, kept it together. And Shemp passed away. And so what did they do? Well, for 2 movies they used can't remember the good dude's name, but his most iconic thing would Mo would hurt him in some way, shape, or form, smack his arm real lightly and say, "Not so hard." That's where that comes from. But the only other one that I remember them doing was Curly Joe. He's basically a fatter version of Curly. And he's pretty good. He's a pretty good character. But he's not as well known as Shemp or Curly. And that's pretty much it as far as the Stooges characters go. However, they didn't just do shorts. They appeared in a bunch of different movies that are kind of obscure. Outside the 2012 movie, which I'll get to. Next, they had a bunch of comics. They still produce comics every now and again. Some radio shows at the time, some stage stuff, as well as, well, enough, cartoons. I actually have a few of them, of the old set, that had Curly Joe in it. Full enough. This was during the limited animation phase. I think this was around the time that they were using sound-alikes as well. I think there are sound-alikes. I could be wrong on that. But they also appear in 2 episodes. I think I've talked about this before when I was doing Scooby stuff. But they appear in new Scooby-Doo movies. Those are sound-alikes. But that wasn't the last time we saw them in the animated form. We saw them again in the Robotic Stooges. Which, that was pretty funny. I like those. But the Stooges would fade away. And we wouldn't see them for a while. Then 2012 hit. And lo and behold, a slew of new Three Stooges stuff came out because a new movie had appeared with brand new actors created by the Farley brothers. And it was good. It's a good movie. It's a lot more violent. And does follow basic movie plot, But it very much is a Stooges plot. And I'll talk about the movie on its own merits at a later date. Now, there was supposed to be a sequel, a prequel, and a spin-off show. Still no word on that stuff, by the way. Maybe it's canceled. We don't know. But yeah, the Stooges are probably one of the most iconic comedy acts of all time. But they've also kind of become obscure now too, depending on who you ask. If you're like me and grew up with it because you got introduced to them, you know them. But if you aren't introduced nowadays, it's unfortunate, but you're not gonna know who these guys are. Maybe that's why we haven't gotten any Funko Pops of them. I would be first in line for a 3-pack of the Three Stooges. Leo knows it, Seer knows it, Draconis knows it, my family knows it. I'm a big Three Stooges fan. And, funnily enough, the Stooges have been parodied quite a bit. They appear in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. There's a clear reference there. I think they appear as a parody in a Looney Tunes short, the Dodo Bird episode. And I think they popped up a couple other times, but yeah, they do get parodied quite a bit. So when you hear the whoop, 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 or you see the eye gouge, or whatever, that's the Three Stooges reference. Now, on to the gags, the most common gags. Already briefly touched on the various catchphrases, but there are a few other gags. They love their pies in the face gags. They love this stuff when they get into high class society stuff. However,
You say.
but the most common and probably the most iconic is the eye gouge. Now you know how you do this. Now, Leo, bend down here for a second. Now, the basic way to do this is that they would do this. That they wouldn't aim for the eyes. They'd aim right for the eyebrows.
Should I be on camera for this?
No, it's fine. But yeah, I just need a visual aid. But
Oh, so you mean like this?
right, exactly. But
They'd aim for up there.
But if you watch closely, every so often
They hit the eyes.
You can see when they miss. But it's slapstick. So
Also,
of course, them doing it like this ain't gonna hurt as bad as if they're actually poking them in the eye.
Also, your favorite thing to try to do to me is pick up 2 fingers.
Right. This is basically leading up to the eye gouge. Mo will ask Curly, or sometimes Larry or Shemp, depending, but mostly it was Curly. He held it in his hand, pick out 2 fingers, and Curly would literally pick out the right fingers. And well, now
CL's done this to me a couple of times. Like, okay, boink.
Right, but however, a good way they would do it would
It'd
be,
go like this.
right. However, Mo has done what Leo just demonstrated.
Where it's pick out 2 fingers.
He would put it like this.
Okay.
Instead, Mo would change tactics.
Yeah, so it's like, pick out 2 fingers.
1, 2,
Hey,
and
pick
then
out 2 fingers.
1, 2, and then, yep, exactly. Now, the slap is another iconic. However, the smack is added in later.
The smack sound effect is.
Right, but they actually only end up like about an inch or 2.
About like this.
The dude moves right as he slaps.
So it would turn out something like this.
Boom. Exactly. And then just adding the smack. We need.
Though to
it
be
would
accurate,
awesome for if we could do it again.
Well, to be accurate, it would be more of a.
Right. But the smack is.
So it would end up sounding something like this.
Oh. No, it actually is a more comedic sounding smack. You dumbass. that just sounds painful. Whereas the smack is a smack.
Oh, so it sounds more like a.
Right, exactly. It sounds. You can actually just watch a Three Stooges short. You'll get it. However, another one is the little wave, or another one is the nose. It's very, but the most iconic is probably the eye gouge.
You've done that a couple times to me. Where you're like, and I just.
Right.
Into
now,
your own forehead.
You see that.
You see this?
Well, basically Mo will do this. Now then Curly will do it, and Mo will actually.
I thought it was Mo going.
You see
See
that?
this?
No, Curly.
And then Curly would smack it, and he'd go like that.
Right, and then Curly.
And then Curly would go.
See that?
And then.
It's really funny.
I've done that to CL a couple of times, where he'll just hold out his fist like that, and I'll just smack it into his own forehead.
But you'll smack it a little too hard. which means I've only got a fraction of a second. Outside of a video game, I don't have hand-eye.
You have bad hand-eye coordination outside of a game.
Right. Well, somewhat. I just don't have good reaction time.
For me, it'd be something like this.
Yeah, me, I just...
Wait.
I didn't hit it. But yeah, it's... Now, every now and again, there'll be something weird, or I think the most...
Or,
like, there'll be, like, sight gags and everything like that. But another good one that they did...
my knee popped.
a funny one that Mo did once. Basically, Curly sticks his tongue out, right? And puts a hair clip. No, he didn't. He put a hair clip on.
Was it a hair clip or a clothespin?
It was one of them old wooden clothespins.
Right, so you go
like, and then
clothespin.
I remember the face he made. He holds it for a second.
Well, it's probably because that's painful.
It was painful to watch.
We should test that sometime.
Oh hell no! Now another funny one that I fully remember. This was with Shemp. They're trying to get him all dolled up, which I know is hard because it's Shemp. Well,
it'd be hard for you too.
I got a lot of hair. It'd take forever. But
not to mention having to hide this.
And let's face it, unfortunately,
there's no hiding that.
I unfortunately will look terrible without all this.
Now I really want to see it.
Look up some old kid pictures. You'll be able to imagine me without hair. I look like Pleakley with 2 eyes. At least in my opinion. But another thing that I remember is Shemp trying to get dolled up, and Mo's trying to get him to hold still because Shemp's shaving, but Mo's trying to like darn his pants a little bit, make him look presentable, at least as presentable as he can because it's Shemp. And
presentable.
At this the third time, rule of threes, says hold still, jabs the needle into his thing, into the back of his knee, and all you hear is Shemp saying, "Mo, I cut off my head. My head is off." The mirror's backwards. Mo turns it around. Shemp's like, "Oh, there I am. As pretty as a picture." Mo says, "Yeah, of an 8." Smacks him. It's funny as hell.
So like you looking in a mirror.
I would, but you broke them all. Oh, no, sorry. That was a seer. No.
Why, you?
I was expecting an asshole. I wasn't expecting a seer to actually come out of his crypt this soon. Oh, I thought you was out hunting.
Maybe I should hunt you.
Good luck. And I got the Reaper on my side. I've been grabbing my nose.
What? You mean like this?
Why you? But now you kind of see where some of our comedy is coming from. Three Stooges, Robin Williams, and a few other comedians.
Look at me from the side. Do I look fat to you?
A little bit. You got a little bit of a push on you.
There we go.
You suck it in your gut.
Wait, no, I messed up the line. Look at me from the side. Do I look different to you?
Yeah, well, yeah. A lot of comedy that on our show is from like some of our old favorite comedians and a few of our Disney fans.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Did Genie ever do a Three Stooges reference? Maybe in the show?
I don't think he ever did.
Maybe in the show. I don't know.
Maybe in the show, but not in the movie.
I know he didn't do it in the first movie. I don't remember if he ever did it.
No, but my favorite... What's your favorite one from that?
From the movie?
Yeah.
I think the Groucho Marx, just because it's so obscure by that standards. It would have been obscure.
Substitutions, exchanges, or refunds.
I mean, it's obscure now for the Marx Brothers. It was obscure back in the 90s.
You got three wishes. 1, 2, 3.
No exchanges.
No exchanges, refunds. No exchanges, substitutions, or refunds.
Right.
And wait, no, we got 2 of those backwards. No substitutions, exchanges, or refunds.
Right. And it's funny because the Marx Brothers, there was 4 of them, but the most people remember is Groucho. Funnily enough. But,
and to quote his character from, a little off track here, but to quote his character from Gravity Falls, "Hey, why is there nothing in my hand?" Wait, no. I've heard about a cutting remark, but this is ridiculous. "Hey, why is there nothing in my hand?"
Because, well, Disney does not
Because you can't smoke on Disney, ladies and gentlemen.
And yeah, a lot. You notice a lot of the movies, even in the '90s, had a lot of smoking. Look it
Sorry
up,
about a
guys.
cutting remark, but this is ridiculous.
They
Hey,
could-
why
they-
is there nothing in my hand?
You know why they're not doing it now, but you notice that they had a lot of smoking. The Jiving Crows. Pinocchio had the infamous scene of a bunch of kids smoking. Cinderella
That was
had
a normal thing back then.
Cinderella and Cruella had a character, the
The
king,
long pipe.
the long pipe.
But I mean, that was a lot more
Right.
common back
Hell,
then.
in Zootopia, Yax is. Oh, he hides a fucking.
He's got
kite.
he's on something, and I don't
I
think
think I saw a hookah in the background. I'm gonna have to rewatch that film. Check out Yax's thing.
I'm
Although,
not sure. I may want to know what he's smoking,
just so I can.
just so I can avoid it.
Right. I think. Oh, he high. He high at something. But honestly, the Stooges had probably some of the funniest scenes. I know there was a lot of other characters that did this stuff. Abbott and Costello, the Marx Brothers, and of course, oh, what was it? I had it. Laurel and Hardy. These guys were comedic legends. But you notice that they either had 2 or they had 4. The Stooges were the only ones that had 3. Funnily enough. Hell, even in Cartoon World, you had Shaggy and Scooby as comedic relief, and everything. But you notice that there was more often not either 1, 2, or a whole bunch of characters that was a comedic relief. You very rarely saw 3. The Three Stooges are that 3. And funnily enough, an old comedy bit, the rule of 3. Well, you got 3 of the dumbest dumbasses ever. And they had a variety of jobs. Doctors, lawyers, funnily enough, once. Or no, they were trying to get insurance. Close enough. Plumbers. This is a favorite of theirs, mind you. Another
Got a bit
favorite.
of a plumber's crack there, buddy.
You're one to talk. Funnily enough, another good fact. Mo was the very first person to portray Hitler on film in the episode You Nazi Spy, and would reprise it in a sequel episode, I'll Never Hail Again. Funnily enough, this was around the time that we were at war during World War II. This was right around the time Hitler would be rising to power. So he was taking a huge risk. But nowadays, for whatever reason, it's not funny. It's culturally insensitive to hate on to laugh at the Nazis, at their comedic portrayal, at getting their asses handed to them. Leo, does that make sense to you?
Does what makes sense to me?
I mean, I get the Chinese and the Russian or whatever that they use, the Germans, for the cartoons, and of course the Three Stooges with their portrayal. But it's apparently culturally insensitive to laugh at the Nazis getting their asses handed to them.
Couldn't tell you.
Funnily enough, anything Nazi related is not available in Germany. Even when the Nazis are getting their asses handed to them. I thought they were I thought these Germans were different than the Nazis. I don't know.
Once you finish, I got something ridiculous to show you. I just saw on my phone.
But yeah, guys, it's super cool to know that little factoid. I think my favorite volumes out of all the favorite sets is probably Volume 3 of the Three Stooges collections, and what is that one? Stooges and Confused. Just because those are some of my favorite episodes, and they're in color. So, and of course, the 2012 movie is a big favorite of mine. I especially like the little sight gag of them trying to sell ice cream. It's crossed out. It says cream, and that's crossed out. Now it's sour cream. So basically, they let it melt really badly. They forgot to get ice. It was really funny. But, funnily enough, I think the Rocket Trio, Jesse James and Meow, I wonder if they ever portray. I want to see, guys. If any of you out there are artists, I want you to make Team Rocket as the Three Stooges, a little mashup, just for comedic purposes.
So just so you can go ahead and get your next recording. Like I'd fall for this.
Somebody,
emailed my phone number that.
I'm not showing that on camera, guys.
I'm
but
not
let's
saying
just
show it on camera. Like I'm gonna fall for that. Send it back over.
let's just say, guys, he
It's
got a
something
very naughty
ridiculous.
text from somebody he doesn't know.
And so I'm just gonna say nope and ignore it.
So yeah, guys. On that note, on that comedic note, hey, it works out. But yeah, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All of these will help you stay notified. Share this video with other people. Help us grow a little bit more every day. And go to the comment section down below. Do you know the Three Stooges? Do you know somebody who knows them? And let me know. I love seeing more fans of this franchise. Even though, and honestly, I would love to see the Three Stooges as they'd have to talk with Paramount, but I certainly could see them as a trio of pops. And I would definitely be at the front of the line for that. That would be an awesome part of my collection. That being said, guys, I'll see you guys next time. I'm Case Lupus. This has been the Gamers Den, and I welcome you to Toobheads, and hope to see you guys in the next video in 2 weeks' time. Like I said, they'll be alternating. Bye.